Hello and welcome. You're watching Voice News Network. My name is Pragya and welcome to our year-end special. Today I'm joined by our in-house realtors, Mr. Praveen Arora and Mr. Sam Dillon. And today we are going to talk about the trends that impacted the real estate market in GTA this year. So everything started from the major highs and lows we'll discuss today. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Pragya. Thanks for having us over.
So I'll start with the basic question. What were the major highlights of this year when it comes to real estate in GDA?
The major highlight of this year, Pragya, in 2021, I think everybody came to know about real estate. That's the major highlight. And secondly, I think if you talk to anybody, and you will see, I would say 99% of the people, they are interested in real estate and they want to buy something in real estate. So this year is the one, I would say, in our industry is kind of a historical year, even though everybody was expecting that prices will go down due to this pandemic, but it was totally opposite to that one. Prices went up so much, and everybody has interest in real estate, especially this year, in 2021.
Yeah.
If you talk to anybody, even first time buyer, second time buyer, who want to upsize, downsize, investor, residential, commercial, everybody talks about real estate nowadays.
So that would be the major highlight.
That's
according to
right.
you.
Definitely. The industry was so dynamic this year. Everybody was afraid, as Praveen said, because of the pandemic, that there was so much uncertainty in every other field. But real estate was the only field that was going positive day by day, and the prices have gone up. There's a joke I'll like to share here that the client says that, show us something expensive. We don't like the houses in this price range. And then the realtor goes, I can show you the same house tomorrow. It will be more expensive.
Right.
So that's what has been happening in the real estate, because the supply was so low and the demand was so high that prices, as we can literally say, went up by day.
Yeah.
So it was happening, but also this year brought in some factors that real estate became out of reach of many people that were thinking to get into real estate.
And if we talk about pandemic, obviously, as you mentioned, all other industries suffered a major, drawback in terms of making sales and all. But real estate was booming as ever.
Right.
What do you think was the reason that people, especially during the pandemic, wanted to buy more houses or sell their properties? What happened?
Pragya, it's a very good question, but there were multiple reasons what we see, especially this year, why the prices went up. We are in this industry for a long time. I am in this business for more than 17 years. Sam is in more than 20 years. And I never saw any year before this, the way prices went up this year. If we really talk about GTA, most of the GTA markets in the last 12 months went up from 20 to 25%. It's a big jump, in a 1 year, 20 to 25% growth in the real estate industry. And the biggest reason what we see this year, why it went up is simple logic, supply and demand. Because supply was so limited this year and demand was high. And the demand was high, a lot of people came from the other part of the world, so they want to buy. That was the one thing. Secondly, mortgage rate is historically low. It's about 1.5% most of the time you can get the financing. 1.5% is very low interest rate compared to the other parts of the world. And the other thing is this, because the new construction, the builders, all the projects got delayed. And that new construction that was not delivered on time, so that's why people were not putting their existing homes on sale. That also brought inventory further down. And on the top of that, people were able to save some money, especially during the pandemic time, because they were not spending money on the other activities. So that was the other reason people have some more savings this year. On the top of that, people has more confidence in the real estate industry compared to the other investments from the last few years. So they were very much interested to invest in real estate. So there were multiple reasons. So that's why the market went up this year. And the way things look like, that was a big thing, especially 20 to 25% growth in 1 year, all parts of GTA.
Even a lot of stock market investors, because there was so much uncertainty into stock market, they also invested in real estate, because real estate is a tangible asset. You can see that, yes, this is the house, I'm putting your money into this house. Whereas in stock market, bonds, or RRSPs, you just see a paper, and that confidence was not there. Like, people would think that my money is safe, but when pandemic hit, it was all over the place. The stock market was crashing. All the stock exchanges were going down, like up to, I think once it went down, Nasdaq in New York, it went down 500 points in single day. So people lost confidence in stock market and all other forms of investments. That also prompted high demand in real estate industry, because they could see that, okay, I'm putting my money on this house, right? So that gave them a real confidence, as Praveen said earlier also.
Yeah. And talking about trends, there was one thing I noticed, especially in real estate, because people started working from homes and nobody was coming to offices. So people started moving from the main core downtown Toronto to, other farther areas in GTA.
Outer locations,
and,
yes.
and they wanted more space for themselves because they were working from home. So they finally started thinking that we need to have our own space, our home house. And maybe that
Right.
is the reason that, they...
That was also one of the factor, Pragya. As I mentioned, there were multiple regions. That's why the market went up. And now, what is happening again, when people are seeing that the prices are going up so fast, and the people, even those people want to sell their property, they also start holding their properties too. Because they have a fear in their mind. Or let's say if we sell our property today for $1 million, and after 2 months it may be 1.2 million. Or maybe 1.1 million. Yeah. So they also losing the confidence in the market in terms of selling, because they feel that if we sell it today, maybe tomorrow we can get more money. So this uncertainty regarding the market conditions, also brings the inventory further down. And not only the resale market, at the same time, even if we see the builders are also very smart, and they also watch the market. So now what they are doing, if any new development coming up, especially for the low rise, because low rise lots are not that many available in the market. So what they do, rather than releasing 100, 200 lots together, they are releasing 10, 15 or 20 lots. And some of the builders, they have a wait list for a weekly basis. They will say, oh, next week we will release 3 lots. Next week we will release 5 lots. And every week they are increasing the price. So all these things are helping to the market, for the higher price point.
Yeah.
One other trend that we noticed this year in the market was, there were, especially in the commercial sector, there were a lot of assignment sales happening. Assignment sale is, say, I purchase a property today, and I put a clause there that I can close this property under a different name or under a different company. And a lot of people with who had handy cash, they would do a deal, and they will get an assignment clause in there, and before the closing they will sell it to a third party. And that also, we saw a lot of those transactions happening this year, because people were able to generate, without doing anything, they were able to generate huge profits from the assignment sales.
Yeah. And further talking about trends, one more thing that came up is like young people, students, and first-time buyers, they started getting into the market this year. Do you want to talk about that as well?
Pragya, if you remember, last week we spoke about the first-time buyers. I will highly encourage, especially the young people, if they can come in the market, or if they can buy something or secure a property, that will be a very good idea. The reason why the way GTA is turning into a different market, because before this, if we really see few years back, the GTA prices was much lower compared to the other major cities in the world, and now that gap is becoming less and less day by day. And it look like the way people are coming in the GTA market, down the road the prices will be even more aggressive in this market. So I will highly recommend, especially to the young people, if they can buy something, even a smaller property, I think that will be a very good thing in GTA's market.
Definitely.
And you said that when the year started, people were scared to sell their property, so they were holding up. But I also remember that earlier when we were talking about the selling property part, you said that this is the best time to sell in GTA.
Because when inventory is low, that's the best time to sell. Let's put this way, the reason why we also say that to, Pragya, if somebody want to upsize a property, let's say they are living in a semi-detached house, and that semi-detached house, I'm just giving a number, let's say for $1 million, and the property which they want to move, detached property, that property is maybe around 1.4 million. And if they want to upsize the property, I will recommend this is the best time. The reason why, because right now their existing property is for $1 million, and the property which they are buying, that is $1.4 million. So the gap is for $400,000. But if they are waiting for a longer time, let's say if they wait for another 6 months or 1 year, and the market goes up another 10-15%, definitely their semi will go up to, let's say the semi goes up for $150,000, but that detached property will go up more than $200,000. So the gap will be bigger. So if they want to upsize, it's the perfect timing for them, because the more they will wait, the gap will be bigger. If I really talk about, when I started my career in this industry, the difference between semi-detached and detached was, Sam can correct me, because that time in 2004-5, it was maybe around, I think, $40,000 to $50,000,
Yeah,
$40,000.
depending on
That was the
area to
maximum
area.
difference, between a semi-detached and a detached property, and see where the gap is now. And nowadays, any detached property, especially in the GTA market, or if we're talking about the West market, Brampton, Mississauga, any builder is launching any detached house, that detached house is starting above 1.6 million. I don't think so anything is coming in the market less than 1.6 million, any brand new detached property.
Yeah.
And any semi-detached, if we see semi-detached is coming maybe around 1.1 from the builders, if anything is coming. So even over there, gap went up more than 10 times,
Yeah.
So if somebody want to upside, definitely it's a perfect timing.
So we did talk about the highlights of the year. If I ask you guys personally, how was the year for your company? What would you like to say?
I would say, Pragya, this is the best year so far in our 17 years career, right? And multiple reasons for the best year. No doubt, day by day, we are getting more and more stronger. Our team is expanding, our company is expanding, so we are getting more share in the market, no doubt on that. At the same time, the price point is going up, so that is also helping us to get higher average sale price in the market. And the third thing is this, because listings were selling so fast. When, let's say, our serving time to the listing is very short now. Before this, we used to have a listing in the market. Our normal time was maybe about 4 to 6 weeks. Now 4 to 6 days. So when the turnover is that fast, so definitely you can capture more business in the market. So this year was the best year so far, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to add something to this?
Definitely, as Praveen said, it no doubt was the best year in our careers and in our company's history. At the same time, we were able to be joined by many more new realtors in our team. So we expanded our team as well. And we also expanded our management team, our training team. We were able to provide the platform that a new realtor needs to be successful. And when the market is hot, it's, I think, the best time for the new people to get into it as realtors, because then they have hands-on experience. They are seeing that deals are happening left, right, and center, and they, even though they don't have that much knowledge in the beginning, but when they observe how things are being done on a fast pace, their learning capacity also becomes very fast, and they learn very quickly on the job. You know, if it's a slow market, and as Praveen said, if we are able to close a deal only in 4 to 6 weeks, the training span also becomes longer,
Yeah.
and because there's not much to see. But when we're putting together 5 or 10 deals in a week, the new people are able to see how it is done and how every step is taken care of.
Yes, yeah. So far this year has been really great for you, for your company. Before I wrap up, I want to ask you, what do you expect in the coming year? Obviously, real estate market is doing really well right now, but we are in the year end. So what is your expectation? How things are going to be next year?
Before Pragya, I come to regarding the next year's, what we see, what is happening the next year. One thing I would like to say, even though this was the best year for us, but we really felt uncomfortable in this market, especially for our first time buyers. We used to do a good number of deals for the first time buyers, but this year we were not able to put that many for the first time buyers because the market conditions were so difficult or different, so they were not able to secure the properties in this fast paced market. So that's why what we decided, especially in 2022, because what look like the market condition, there may not be a major change in this market. Even in 2022, we don't see that inventory is coming up in a big number, so where buyers will have the more options. And especially in this market, the most difficult time is for the first time buyers, because those people are upsizing or downsizing, they already have their existing properties. So for them is not a problem if the prices are going up. No doubt the gap will be more for them also, but at least they have something in hand, right? Either they are upsizing or downsizing. First time are the one, they don't have anything in hand. And especially for the young people, there are a lot of people, they came here as a student and then they become PR, and now even last week we talk about that they don't have much financial help from their family and from other sources. The only thing what they have a decent job here, so they have only cash flow, but they have a big challenge for the down payment. So that's why in 2022, as we discussed last time, we are coming up with a very good option, especially for the first time buyers, how we can help them to secure the properties in this market. I think in the coming episodes, we will talk more about that one too, but I will definitely like to, share this information, especially for the first time buyers, that they should contact us. They can, we will be coming up with some webinars on that too, where they can join us on virtually, or if they want to come in person, they can get the information about that too, that how we can help them to secure the property in this market. And the market prediction is this, Pragya, I mentioned in even my last episode also, because we had a opportunity to meet Remax president Nick Bailey 2 weeks back in Vegas. So I was just talking to him, and he also mentioned they got some studies done about the GTA market. They did studies worldwide, especially for the GTA market. It looked like the market will go up again next year, at least 17-18%. That's what the prediction is. And if that stays this way, for the first time buyer, it will be even more challenging, what I say.
So even the inflation rate is not going to impact the real estate market?
There are some possibilities. Sorry.
No, it might impact a little bit, but the way market conditions are, even they're talking about that there could be a raise in interest rate also. So government is trying to put all these checks and balances to cool down the real estate market, but I think that's not enough. That will not have a major impact on the real estate industry, and as long as the issue of supply is not handled, all other measures will fail. The real estate market solely depends on demand and supply principle. I shouldn't say solely, but a major factor is demand and supply. When supply is so low and demand is so high, the prices are bound to go up. so I mentioned this earlier also. The real problem is the new construction. There should be some checks and balances put in place, first to encourage the new construction. The red tape should be reduced.
Yeah.
Secondly, there should be some measures on the builders also, that if they have, say, in a subdivision 100 lots, they cannot increase the price of those 100 lots until they are all sold. As Praveen said, they are only releasing 5 lots or 10 lots, and then next 10 lots are higher in price. So government has to come up with some regulation, especially for the new builds, new construction. I think that will help a lot in cooling down the market.
Yeah. So before we wrap up, is there any message that you want to give to the viewers who would probably be getting into the market next year?
I think the main thing which I would like to share with all the viewers, Pragya, that if you are considering to buy a house, if you decided to live in this country and you are here, I would suggest definitely buy even something smaller rather than paying rent. And the way market is and the way conditions looks to us, and if we really look at the other big cities in the world, New York, even in India, Bombay, and there are so many other big cities in Europe, London, Hong Kong, right? Those cities, the prices are consistently going up. Even let's say the price doesn't go up that much, it is not easy to get the properties in those areas, right? Yeah. So even if you are able to buy a smaller property, because the mortgage rates are very good and market conditions, even though not in your favor, but the mortgage is very low, at least buy something smaller. So that way, if the market goes up, it will be much easier for you to upsize the property down the road. And even let's say if market does not go up that much, still it will be better off rather than paying your rent to have something your own.
Yeah.
One issue which I see here is, because all of us that are especially that come from India and Pakistan, we're used to, especially in the rural areas, we are used to big open spaces, big houses, so I think that mentality has to change. It's good to have a dream home, but in order to get to a dream home, maybe you can do it in 2 or 3 steps. As Praveen said, buy something small. We just spoke about Hong Kong. I was reading an article that in Hong Kong, you'll be surprised to know that they have started building apartments, and just listen to this, the square footage starts at 250 square feet. You can imagine an apartment in 260 feet, square feet. It's
nothing.
Nothing.
Maybe the size of this studio per day. That will be the apartment size. Yeah.
So, I think that time is not far away, the way the GTA market is. Even though we have a vast land in Canada, we're one of the biggest countries, but to develop those lands is very costly. So only way I see is going up, in apartments and condo buildings. So get into the condo market. That's an option where you can stop paying somebody else's mortgage and start paying your own mortgage. It's easy to get into. There's different payment structures for pre-construction apartment buildings. So it's the price point is still low. You can get into that. And if you need any information how to do that, our information is on the screen. Give us a call. We'll sit down with you. And when you leave that meeting, if not anything else, you will be informed enough to make a sound and productive decision.
Yeah, I think that's a wonderful thing to say. So I would like to tell all our viewers, as Mr. Sam mentioned and Mr. Praveen mentioned too, like if you need any information, you can see the contact details of Team Aurora at the bottom of your screen. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks,
Thank
Pragya.
you for having
Thank you.
us.